club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Denver Broncos behind their new signal caller, Case Keenum, as they take on Josh Rosen and the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. We get a glance at Josh Rosen, the rookie quarterback from UCLA, drafted 10th overall. He'll be the man under center.
When you think of some of the most successful quarterbacks in Arizona Cardinals history, you think of guys like Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner, Jake Plummer. But none of them began their career with the Cardinals. They would like to have their own homegrown guy. Could Josh Rosen be that guy? They drafted him number 10 in 2018. They're looking forward to watching him develop.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Johnson, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
And running back David Johnson was awfully popular in fantasy drafts in 2017, coming off of a year where he had 20 touchdowns, but had just 11 carries last season before a wrist injury shelved him for the season. Look for him to bounce back in a huge way in 2018.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
From the gun, it's Rosen. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, Adam Jones. It's taken to the 26. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, born and raised in Brownwood, Texas, played his college ball at Houston. It's Case Keenum.
And the 2018 draft, when the Broncos number came up at 5, plenty of chatter that they might take a quarterback right there. Remember, Josh Allen was still on the board. Josh Rosen was still on the board. But the Broncos made a commitment to Case Keenum in free agency, and they're living up to it. Did not take a quarterback in that slot. Going to ride with their new number 4, Case Keenum.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Lindsey, the undrafted free agent, had a great college career at Colorado, but what he did to start this season and the way he came out of the gate, really impressive.
And sometimes guys just fit NFL teams where maybe you didn't see it coming. Because Phil Lindsay, as you mentioned, had an excellent college career at Colorado, but different question marks from different teams about size. Can he do this? Can he do that? The answer is he can do just about everything, and especially his ability to get out into open space out of the backfield and create big plays downfield. That's working quite well for him in the early going.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Keenum. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Dancing to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Keenum now on first down. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They'll run. Here's Janovich, the fullback. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, big man with ball. Bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Second and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Let's meet the starters on the defensive side of the football for Arizona.
And let's talk about Robert Nkemdiche, their first-round pick out of Mississippi. I still remember him coming out of high school. An absolute terror, maybe the best high school prospect in the nation. People look to see if his motor is going to run high all the time, because when it does, he is something else.
Now a 3rd and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. Now it's Keenum. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Arizona Cardinals at 1-5 coming back out onto the field. And that 1-5 start that they're off to, it's their worst start since 2001. And the issue, Charles, really seems to be on offense. 5 of their 6 games, they've scored under 20 points, most in the NFL.
But they have tried to kickstart the offense by making the quarterback change from Sam Bradford to the rookie Josh Rosen. So they're hoping that things will increase that way. The big thing for them, they had a great preseason on defense that didn't show up in the first part, but in their one win this season, we saw that defense again. So if they get consistent on that side of the ball, the rookie quarterback plays better, things could look up a little bit for the team in Arizona.
Well, week 6, they lost at Minnesota. Interesting nugget. They have not won in Minnesota since 1977.
Hard to win when you're 0-10 on 3rd down. And even on 4th down, 0 for 2 in that game as well.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Chris Harris was named an All-Pro in 2016 for his ability to play in the slot. A special skill because now every receiver has what we call a two-way go. They can move inside or outside, and you have to trust your eyes and make sure that they're in the right place. Otherwise, you can get fooled easily in that spot.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Screen play, Johnson. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. You know, the running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Now Rosen looking to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
The Denver Broncos sitting at 2-4 right now. They're going to take over the possession here again on offense. But the 23-20 loss against Los Angeles, it's now a 4-game losing streak. Is there a hot seat right now for Vance Joseph?
Unfortunately, I'd have to say yes, and the reason being they had a really rough year his first year as the head coach in Denver, and there's a lot of speculation about whether he would even get a second year. Got the vote of confidence from ownership and management, came back for year 2. But here's the problem. He's a former defensive coordinator. Defense is his forte. His team is now the first in NFL history to allow 200-plus yard rushers in back-to-back weeks. 219 to Isaiah Crowell of the Jets. That was on the road in week 5. And then this past week against Todd Gurley at home with 208. And coming up, they're at Arizona. David Johnson licking his chops, wanting to get right. And then they play at Kansas City, who has Kareem Hunt, who led the league in rushing last year. That defense has to get better and in a hurry.
Play action. It's Keenum. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, a nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Bradley Roby, the cornerback, there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Right side, Gresham. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's his 1st catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a 1st down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. 3-19.
Johnson on the counter.
3-19.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Well, now it's Rosen looking. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 3-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position, the ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it, and even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Keenum. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Robert Kimdichie able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in the contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Green, 39. Green.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. And this gives us a chance to look ahead to some big Week 7 games upcoming. New England, Chicago, that's intriguing. Carolina and Philly, you have that game. And then how about Dallas and Washington? They're a combined 6-5, but they're playing for first place in the NFC East.
And just think, Dallas and Washington fans, when they have children, the first words they teach them are, we hate that rival team. And now they're going to get after for first place in the East. The records aren't great, but the rivalry is strong. New England, Chicago let one get away last week against Miami, but still they have high hopes in the NFC North, and they get to test their mettle against a perennial champion, the New England Patriots. And Carolina, Philly. Carolina had a tough one in Washington last week. Philadelphia, big win last Thursday against New York Giants in New York. That's a big ball game for both of them. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 23 yards on the play.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now it's hit carry for Johnson. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Dances by him. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Cardinals on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes it's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. Losing 6 yards there to bring up 4th. The Broncos send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Hard throw, incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here comes Josh Rosen and the Cardinals offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Green 39.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M. And all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Here's Rosen. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Chandler Jones in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Shotgun snap for Keenum. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a second missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the fourth down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson. And now it's second down. Well, switching gears for a second, a neat moment before Pittsburgh's game last week. Everybody knows James Conner and how he dealt with cancer. 10-year-old in the crowd, Charles, had a sign that he was holding, and this kid is also dealing with cancer. James Conner went over to him, met him, gave him a word of encouragement, and signed some things for him. That was really nice.
Really cool, isn't it? Because James Conner understands what that young man's going through. I believe his name is Levi. Got his attention. They're kindred spirits. And James Conner also showed him by his play and being back out there. Beat this, overcome it, and go out and live your life the way you want to live it. And he's living in a big way in the NFL right now, having a terrific season.
And over 100 yards again this past week.
Yeah, what a great story and crucial catch month in the NFL.
And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again, it's Rosen. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Caught by Nelson left side. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Six yards was The pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Rosen to throw again. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Rosen. That's complete right around the 8. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Well, so it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Now he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Todd Davis. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. 14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on 1st down. After the interception, here's Keenum. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. Keenum. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. And on that one with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Dawson tacks on the point after. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL and give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On second down, Freeman. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 good yards there on the run, and now third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Keenum now to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And they'll bootleg it here with Keenum. Rolling to his right. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is taken at the 18, and he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Rosen looking to throw. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a third and inches. The offense on third down tonight, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches.
Here we go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Marcus Golden in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. With that incompletion, let's discuss all the overtime games that we've had so far in the NFL. We've had 9 of them, at least one each week. Now, week 6, it was Miami and the Bears with the Dolphins getting the win.
Yeah, and you know something? That's an NFL record because that record was set week 5, an overtime game each of the first 5 weeks of the season. Now we're adding to the record, and I wouldn't doubt at all that we would get to 7 weeks and maybe beyond. It's been a very competitive NFL season. Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
On third down, Rosen. And he's got Fitzgerald. Yards for number 11.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They go to Johnson again. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Cardinals on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. He's got his man. It's Williams. And they get 14 yards there at a 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Rosen will throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Set. Blue 90.
The busy night continues for Johnson. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The Cardinals on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Rosen. And able to find Kirk complete. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Here we go now.
Johnson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. Breaks the tackle. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
To throw is Rosen. And Nelson's got it here right side. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So the Broncos coming out now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here we go now.
They'll run it with Johnson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
McManus's point after is good, and that will get him one closer. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Room here to run. David Johnson on his way. A big run there by Johnson. 62 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go now.
Here's Rosen to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Christian Kirk from 8 yards out. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Oh, such great concentration. They're going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Dawson able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now, because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Being chased out left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing on first down is Keenum. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. On 2nd down, here's Keenum. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Hassan Reddick in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, it's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
And now let's look at David Johnson. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create
a big seam, and he might go all the way. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the 1st down. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here's Rosen. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. The rookie Josh Rosen with 3 touchdown passes. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shoot, happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased.
Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones in there to get him for his second sack of the night. Jones had 4 years in New England, now in his third with the Cardinals.
And he's really gotten acclimated in the desert, hasn't he? 11 sacks in his first season with the team in 2016. 17 last year, which led the NFL. And how about his last 5 years? 58 sacks, the most in the NFL.
And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Keenum on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the I. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big... And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Chandler Jones bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd down, Rosen. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2.
Let's go!
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap. Jump too quickly.
Now Johnson. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And Denver getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Chandler Jones in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight. 3rd and long. It's Keenum. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone trying to block, find the spot. And now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now let's go!
On 3rd down, Johnson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So out comes the field goal team once more. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And now nothing but green ahead of him. 30, 20, 10, and he brings this one all the way back. So definitely good for the individual stats, maybe not for our storyline, but he's in for the late score. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Cardinals' hands team able to secure the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. On the ground, this is Johnson. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Again, it's Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now it's Rosen looking. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Chandler Jones in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Thomas, the intended target.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in the game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.